Hello everyone, I am Douglas C. Welch and welcome back to another episode of In the Garden. Well, it's actually happening sooner than I thought it would happen, but we found a great deal on some garden soil at our local nursery. You may have seen the post called Garden Budget on the website that detailed everything we got. We got 6 bags of the soil to go into this bed behind me to start turning it into a raised bed. We actually took some of the sweet potatoes we had harvested up in this end of the bed last week, and they were such hardy plants and so well rooted that I actually put them back into the soil. So what we'll use this for is actually hilling up that area and giving them a little more space to grow, and also give us the ability to cover over those vines with more soil, so perhaps they'll produce more sweet potatoes. There's nothing much very special about turning this into a raised bed. We've got a rail on the front of it here, which we might actually raise up. My wife has got some extra fencing slats she thinks she might want to use as the outside border. We've got the nice cement wall behind it to hold the soil in that way. So all we're going to do is we're going to slice open the bags and dump them in this bed. We're probably going to need at least another 6 bags, I figure, to actually get this up to the level where we want it at. We'll keep watching for sales at the garden center and see what we find there in order to add more to this bed. And here we go with everything, all 6 bags put out into this bed. Oh, and as is always the case, I've underestimated how many bags I'm gonna need to fill up this bed. Soil and mulch always takes more than you think it might. It's very hard to kind of estimate by eye what you're going to want in each bed to a certain depth. That said, I now know that 6 bags covers this much of this area, and that gives me some idea. Probably if that's 6, 12, 18, probably 18 or 22 bags to fill this entirely. Now you may notice this little soaker hose poking up here. That one hasn't been used in a while, but we're going to start using it again. I've got the parts to retrofit that and to neaten things up a little bit, and to put one of those electronic timers like I have in the back on here as well, to really irrigate this area well without taking too much of our attention during the week. As my wife goes back to teaching college, her time gets rather precious, and so it's important to make sure that things are as automatic as possible. Now, what we have plans for in here is a variety of things. I'm going to try and grow some actual veg in this ground. I'm also maybe going to do a test of planting something in here, planting something in the containers, and seeing how they do comparatively. The soil isn't the best. That's why I'm amending it so much. We're going to build this up even higher, simply because this bed was turned over at one point in its life, and you saw this piece of clay I just picked up. It is as hard as a rock. I can't even break it pounding it on this board. It's almost like potter's clay. So I am pulling some of the bigger parts of that out of this bed as I go, and then we'll mix all the soil together as well, so that hopefully the plants will have this much to grow in and not worry about the soil that's actually in the ground. In this bed, which you might recognize as the top part of the onion bed, which I'm also going to be retrofitting and planting something new in here, you notice these little green things right here. These are, my friend Carrie has identified these as Asiatic dayflower, and sure enough, I potted some up just for a little bit of green, and they did bloom with the proper flowers. So there's some sort of dayflower. They're hardier than all heck. They don't get hardly any water here. They don't get hardly any attention here, but they still continue to grow, which is why I've left them. They just had a nice spot of green. Now, what I have done though is I've taken a few of these, potted them up into containers, and they're just going gangbusters, and I'm using those as accents all around the garden, on the back patio, by the front door. Again, just trying to green things up a little bit, and these particular plants happen to be something I had readily at hand. Now also what I'm going to do is, you may see this little seedling right here. They come out of the soil very easily with roots attached, and I'm actually going to take some more of these, and I'm going to try and plant them in the ground along our driveway below our kitchen window, which is a horribly problematic area that's never really grown anything well. I'm hoping these are hardy enough that they will actually take in there and just spread and cover. Then if I want to plant something else there, I can simply remove these, put them somewhere else, and put whatever I want in that garden bed. But these will give me an indicator whether anything will grow there, because if these don't grow, nothing's going to grow. And here you see the bed by our front door that I'm going to try and put these Asiatic dayflowers in. You'll see on the left, of course, the pot, which they're growing tremendously well. There's the seedlings, sproutlings, whatever you want to call them, I took out of that other bed that I just showed you. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make a few holes here. These are very small, so we'll just do that. We'll put him in there, fill him back around, try to keep him at the same level and not bury him there. And then what we'll do is we'll give us a good watering. And that is all that that container took, was just basically hitting them with some water, and they went gangbusters. So hopefully we'll get the same thing here. Now, one of the things you might see as I'm digging here is all these tree roots. And this is a chronic problem we have here in the garden. Now, the funny thing is the trees are on the other side of the driveway, way over there, or way up there in the front yard. So how they're getting in this bed, I don't know. They're really reaching out, I guess, for water and nutrients. So they do end up popping up in this bed. But again, hopefully these are pretty hardy little devils. So maybe they'll grow in the top parts of the soil and leave the lower parts of the soil for the tree roots. We shall see. You never can tell. So that's it for this episode of In the Garden. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll fill you in on how things go in the next couple weeks with this. We're also going to be retrofitting our containers very, very soon. I just haven't had a chance to get to those yet. You'll see those in the other series, Container Garden Update. I'd love to hear what's going on in your garden. Send me pictures, video links, whatever. You can put them on the YouTube post, you can put them on the blog post, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Again, I really want to see what's going on in your garden. More than likely, you're doing things better than I am and having better results. So it's always great for me to learn from you, as hopefully you're learning a little bit from me. Until next time, I'm Douglas E. Welch. Keep digging.